one-step subtraction equations. Subtraction is no different from addition. The only thing is that you're subtracting. So you would do the opposite of subtracting, which is adding. So for instance, if I give you a simple idea, if you have some money and I take $4 from you, now you have $12. If I wanted to figure out, well, how much money did I have before? Well, doesn't it make sense if I just reverse that? If I give myself back the $4, I'll know how much money there was. It's exactly, I guess, again, the same idea that addition has. Remember, algebra is always about reversing the steps that you've done. Another idea is that algebra already has an answer. There's already an answer. So what we're going to do is we're going to reverse all the steps that it took to get to that answer. So that's basically what algebra says. Algebra also says that whatever is on the left side, for instance, c minus 12, whatever that value is worth, and if I took 12 from it, it's also worth 69. So the left side is 69, the right side is 69, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to reverse all the ideas to get us back to that original piece of information. So let's go ahead and go through this. Now remember, this is the ideas that you want to try to develop. And that is by doing some formula-based solving, where your rewrite is moving in a downward fashion. Also, you're using the equal signs as a way to separate what's on the left from what's on the right as we continue to move. So remember, that's the whole process. That's the process that we're trying to work with and trying to develop. So if I have C take 12 on the left, the opposite is to add 12 to the right. So 69 add back 12. And 69 add back 12 is going to be what is that, 781? And that's it. So 81 take 12 is going to leave me 69. Okay, let's try it again. Let's go do this guy here. You notice that you have H and you're taking 32 from it. So we're going to do the opposite of taking 32 from H. We're going to add 32 to the other side. So I have 87 and I add back 32. Then that missing number is actually worth 7, 8, 9, 8, 9, 10, 109. Now, this next one here, this is where people start to have a few questions about, well, what do I do first? For instance, you'll see that you're subtracting a negative. Well, a lot of the times what happens is students start to get a little bit unsure about, well, do I think about integers first and change that? Or do I worry about doing my algebra first? Because they are, here we go. Because they are two different ideas. You know, I always tell students, you know, when you're first learning one thing, like for instance, we're working on learning algebra, let's just focus on that. And then we're going to let the integers work out as we continue to do the math, okay? So right now, we're working on algebra. Let's just do the algebra, and we'll worry about the integers after that. So here we go. The opposite of subtracting a negative 55 on the left is to add a negative 55. Now, you'll notice that I did say negative 55. It doesn't change. It's still negative. So the thing that's different is that instead of subtracting, you're going to be adding. It doesn't change the fact that that is still negative. If it's negative on the left, it's negative on the right. The only thing that's different is the operator, what you're doing with it. So if I'm adding a negative, that means I'm going to come down at my number, right? I'm getting more in depth. So I think that's going to leave me actually 4. See how that works? Be careful as you work these math problems. Notice that the variable is actually on the right side of the equal sign. You want to continue to write in that fashion where as I continue to rewrite this, my variable t continues to remain on the right. You don't want it to get into a habit of actually taking the t and moving it to the left side of the equal sign. It's a bad habit, and it's going to cause problems later on as the algebra gets more busy with a lot more items. So leave it on the right as you continue to work. Everything is going to move away from it. It's going to move to the left side. So the opposite of subtracting a negative 34 is to add a negative 34. So I want to write negative 12, adding a negative 34 equals t. Again, remember, t is still on the right side of my equal sign. Things are moving to the left side away from it. So having negative 12 and adding a negative 32 is going to make me more in debt. So it's going to leave me with a negative 46.